Today I'll be showing you how to hard-boil an egg. Hard-boiling an egg is beneficial if you like deviled eggs, Caesar salad, if you like making Easter eggs with your kids, or if you just like enjoying a nice healthy snack. The steps are pretty elementary, and if you can boil water, you can hard-boil an egg. The things you'll need when hard-boiling an egg are, first of all, your eggs, your pot, a nice good strainer to scoop the eggs out of the hot water afterwards. Either your stove or a hot plate. I've got an electric stove that I'll be using, which I actually really like for hard-boiled eggs. Salt and vinegar of your choice. I prefer a cider vinegar. So what we're going to do is, since we're going to start off with cold water, we will just begin by putting our eggs in the bottom of the pot. We don't have to worry about boiling the water first. We'll just go ahead and place our eggs in the bottom in one nice small layer, like so. Alright, then we'll begin by adding our water. Start with it cold, that way it'll help prevent the shells from cracking. And we just want to fill it to where it's about an inch above the eggs. We'll go ahead and add just a touch more here. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and kick our burner up on high. We want this to come to a boil. What we're going to do now as well is we're going to add some salt and some vinegar, and the salt is going to help prevent the eggs from cracking, and it's going to make them hopefully easier to peel once everything is all done. We're also going to add the vinegar, and what that's going to do is if any of the eggs crack during the boiling process, it's going to prevent the yolks from escaping from the egg, and it's going to allow them to kind of like basically coagulate inside the egg and not make a mess. So we want to add 1 tablespoon of vinegar, and I just measure by sight. Some people say that the vinegar gives the eggs an off flavor afterwards. I personally don't have any problem with it. I'm a fan of vinegar. It doesn't affect me. And you can always just try switching up your vinegars. If you want to use a white vinegar or a rice wine vinegar, those would work, the same way. You can find the one that works best for you. Then we're going to add a teaspoon of salt. Let's do a couple of pinches here. Alright. Well, better off to add more than not enough. It's not really going to, the salt isn't really going to affect the flavor of the eggs because of the shell. So we'll be fine. And now what we're going to do is we're going to allow this to come to a boil, and then we'll be back. Okay, so when the water comes to a gentle rolling boil right there, what we're going to do is we're just going to turn the heat off and let it simmer for a minute. If we were using a gas range, we would remove the pan from it, turn the heat down to low, put it back on, and let it simmer like that for a minute. Since we're using electrical coil, it's going to hold heat on it, and so it should work pretty good to keep it simmering. A lot of times, the saying, a watch pot never boils, you don't notice that the pot's boiling, and it'll be a minute before you notice, in which case you could just proceed to the next step, which would be, now that it's been simmering for a minute, we are going to cover it, and we are going to remove it from the heat, and we are going to let it go for 10 to 12 minutes. So while the eggs are finishing cooking for the last 12 minutes, you want to set yourself up with a bowl of ice water here. And then what you're going to do is take your strainer, and remove your eggs into the ice bath. Once the eggs have cooled, you can begin peeling the egg. And the longer they cool, the easier the shells will be to peel. Come right off. And you may want to give it a rinse just to get any of the rest of the shell off. And then just go ahead, add a little bit of salt, and enjoy. And you have your perfect hard-boiled egg.